No problem. No problem.
Yeah, Alex, can you continue?
Yeah, sure. Touch, I wanted to also ask if there is some companies who make some risk assessment, some scoring companies like DNB, and
Yeah.
they are involved in certain moments. So the question is, how actually did you have experience of involvement in this kind of scoring agencies, scoring companies who actually score, credibility of companies?
I don't have the experience on their side. I've worked with AIG, Atradius, Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, but I don't know what they do on their side in terms of their risk. I know what they ask for, some of the information they ask for, but I don't know how they score customers. So I don't know how you get more of a limit and what their risks are. They look at the ownership structure. They look at how long the company's been around for. They'll look at who the beneficial over the company owners are, whether they're in a favorable position or not. So they'll do things like that, but I don't know the ins and outs of that. So I'm not going to try and pretend that I know how they work.
Yeah, I see. And coming back to insurance companies, is this kind of, kind of something you include to the deal by default? I mean, something that you just go with all the time, or it's from time to time? Using credit insurance company. Yeah.
I think I don't know if you could hear what I was speaking to Dimitri earlier, but you should have, every time you sign a new customer, the safest thing to do is put them through the insurance company to make sure that they're a legitimate company. The owners are well standing. There's no risk as well from that side of it. Then you'll then get a credit limit from that company. So that's the best process. And then what the insurance company can give you is a list. These are the 5 things, or these are the minimum 6 things that you need to give us before we can give you a credit limit or assess a new client for you. So it might be a certificate of incorporation. It might be the last 3 years accounts. It might be IDs of directors. They're going to do their KYC and anti-money laundering checks anyway. So they're the basic things that an insurance company will do as a minimum before they even consider giving credit limits.
Is that kind of, a part of legislation or regulations, or it's just the way business works and has not?
It's the way business works. It's the way business works, and I think they're just getting a lot stricter on it. All the movement of money, whether it's via companies or whether it's via people, they're just scrutinising a lot more, as I'm sure you've heard on the news anyway. So no matter what you do, I think you can't just suddenly shift $1 million from one place to another to a customer without some sort of, unless you do it at your own risk. You'd have to pay the supplier and then you ship it at your own risk. But then I don't know where you'd make your money. Are you charging interest on the money? Are you funding the working capital for the customer? Where are you making money? Or what's your role in this whole value chain process, for example?
Potentially, all we talk about is something which is not working yet. But if it worked, it would be some interest. Not interest. How it's called? Commission, service fee, or whatever, from buyer side.
Okay.
From customer side, that's one. 2 to 4% easily.
Yep.
Second part is foreign exchange and money movement, product movement, discount from supply from logistics part. If we do like wholesale provider and ship in bulk, we would get discount and earn there. And third part is if we go to suppliers with consolidated US orders, we could get wholesale discount. So in general, it could be like, I don't know, from those 3 parts, we want to earn actually. So again, service fee plus money and service fee plus logistics and money service commissions plus discounts.
So there's 3 bits there. There's 3 moving parts. The first bit, the money bit, if you're acting like a bank, then you might need more regulation because you're funding it. So you might need to get financial FCA regulation, which is quite hard. So it's almost like you're going to be a financial institution. So that's something to look into. The other one is with bulk buying. If you're, let's say that the average order value is $100,000, like you said, and you buy $1 million. So you buy 10 orders for $1 million.
Yep.
You would buy that as a company, so the credit limit would be on you rather than the customer because you're buying that, or would you directly to the customer and then the supplier gives you a kickback separately? How would that work? You'd have to structure that in the right way as well. Otherwise, you've got to buy $1 million worth of stock. Let's say you get 10% off. You pay 900,000, you keep the 100,000, and then you sell 10 orders to a US customers for 100,000 each to make you 100,000 profit. So there's things like that to think about. How is it going to, who's going to be the, are you the middle people? Are you getting involved in the order processing, or is it going direct to a customer and you're just making commission from the suppliers? There's quite a lot of questions here actually, sorry, but it's not as straightforward. The more you peel the onion back, the more complicated it's getting. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, in terms of solution, we just don't want to build, the solution and then look for a problem with the solution. I mean, now we just want to go deeper into the problem space in supplier side. If the problem is just risk coverage, so we need to provide more kind of
credit limits.
Let's say our objective is just to get more like get credit limits. That's the only objective to make it work. So if we just need to provide more references, backup from insurance, maybe better conditions in terms of insurance, maybe create some scoring mechanics, etc., to make financial statements from offshore US companies look better for European suppliers. That's the one side. So we are not involved in actually supply chain as middlemen, and that's preferable way when we don't actually buy goods, ship goods to warehouses, then resell to customers in US. So the preferable scenario is just to keep it like clean, IT based, risk assessment based, smart company, but with no like product and money movement. If it works, if it solves the problem. If it doesn't, we have to go ahead with to serve as a middleman or any other solution. But the problem is just to make deal happen. So there is like a bunch of solutions, and we have all these options, schemes not investigated yet. But at the end of the day, we just don't understand what the friction on supplier side. It's risk, but how big is it and how to cover it? If it's not possible to cover it at all without just buying by wholesale and reselling, that's one side. If it's possible, it's not 100%, it's 90%, 80%, then we can cover. Well,
the other side of it is if you're funding it. So
it's not resolved yet, and I don't have answers. I have questions.
Yeah, I know. The other thing is, have you spoken to like a Grant Thornton or a KPMG or a PwC to get tax? If we know what we're doing, maybe get professional advice so that you've got some sort of document in writing, so to say that this is what you can do and these are the things you need to investigate. Have you done that?
Didn't get the idea, so I'm sure we didn't. Could you repeat, please, the idea?
Have you spoken to an audit and accountancy firm to get their advice on risks around what taxes you have to be mindful of and how it would work in terms of transaction recording? And also whether you're a financial institution or just a supplier, you're just an agency, because I think you need to get that advice.
Yeah, again, that's a part of solution. So now we now we decide to go deeper into the problem space. So first investigate the problem space, then go to finding solution. That's why. So the short answer is no. In this case, do you maybe have partners or colleagues who actually work with US as supplier and could potentially be involved in the type of transactions we talk about? Or maybe some contacts on credit insurance companies who we can talk and ask you specific questions on the experience with.
Let me go away and find out. Let me speak to someone and find out if they can put you in touch with people. Because do you want to be introduced to insurance companies? Is that what you're saying, Alex?
Yeah. So we want to talk to anyone who are involved in such kind of transactions. So those are insurance companies first, and actually suppliers.
Okay. Let me go away and have a think about who I can talk to. So I need a couple of days. Send me your LinkedIn profile or connect with me. Igor's already got my details, and then maybe just bullet points. Just send me exactly what you need me to look into, and then let me go and ask. Let me ask a few people. I'll try and get hold of my friend that's worked in Italy before. He's away at the moment. Let me see if I can get hold of him, and let me speak to someone at West Coast and find out who the insurance company is, if it's a Tradius, and whether they're the best, and what advice they give us. So let me see what they come back with.
That would be really great. I appreciate. Thanks a lot.
Anything, Dimitri, from yourself? Anything else? Any questions?
Not from my side, Dmitry.
Dimitri? Okay. Well, fine. So, it's quite a few moving parts. Let me go and have a think about it. Alex, just drop me a couple of bullet points in exactly what you need, and then let me go and start getting hold of people over the next 2 days, and then I'll give you an update either Friday or Monday in terms of where I'm with.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do it.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot.
Dimitri. Thank you, gentlemen.
So thank you, Touch. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thanks, Touch. Bye-bye.
Че, чувак, отвалился?
Он, да. Так, что-то я сегодня не в форме.
Ну да, ты не в
Хватку
форме.
теряю, видишь?
Нет, ты не успел подготовиться просто, видимо.
Ну,
Чувак, ну, конечно,
пиздец
надо
просто.
задавать вопросы. Ты много
Слушай,
о нас рассказываешь, а как бы мы от этого ничего не имеем. Надо задавать вопросы, конечно.
Ну
Больше
да.
клиент должен говорить, а не ты.
Да, я тут полностью как бы принимаю. С другой стороны, у меня странная какая-то тема. Я как-то быстро, не то что быстро, я как-то, как сказать, чуйка, не чуйка. Короче, наш, не наш пациент. Я вот это понимаю. Тут типа он заинтересованный, он что-то спрашивает, и я такой типа расслабился, отвечаю. То есть он меня каздевит.
Да, он тебя каздевит, да.
Я типа... Ну, мне интересно, я не рассказывать не могу, а мне у него нет чего спросить. Типа, чувак торгует на Ирландию, а в Америке покупает, а не продает.
Ну, значит, не целевой сливать такого. Понять, целевой,
типа,
не целевой сливать, и все.
Типа да, но при этом, когда вот просто из серии у него есть интерес, ты отвечаешь, он что-то накидывает. Ты вот начал спрашивать, кстати, хорошо вынул у него про insurance company, что-то накинул. Ну, то он все, вопрос задает, типа, это как делать, это как делать, это как делать, я хуй знаю, говорю, мы проблему пытаемся понять.
Я понял.
Но ценность какая-то есть, типа, в решенческой части он какие-то схемы накинул, да, какие-то принципы работы с...
Послушай, запишу. Ладно, хрень.
Я переслушаю,
Понял,
да.
ладно. Не целяк, по сути.
Я им напишу, он, типа, может что-то скинуть контакты и страховых, и поставщиков.
Ага. Ну, закинь, а я ему закину в этот. Хочешь напрямую, как удобно. Ну, в общем, как удобно.
Да могу напрямую. LinkedIn есть.
Понял. Ну ладно, мужик, что, давай,
завтра
на связи.
со Шпаком я подготовлюсь.
Давай. Ну, ладно, это не целевой, хотя он Head of Finance был, ну, по крайней мере, написано, что он Head of Finance в этом Workhorse. А Workhorse — это дистрибьютор брендов HP Dell, Microsoft, Lenovo, Apple в UK. А
Ну,
UK,
дистрибьютор американских контор. Типа они в Америке купили оптом и продают по Европе.
наоборот, да?
Ну, HP и так далее. Ну, Lenovo единственное китайское, не знаю. Ну, короче, они там собирают и продают по Европе. То есть не в Америку шипят.
Наоборот, ага, я понял.
Ну, типа, по идее, формально это вообще, ну, как бы, в итоге не
13
наш
лет.
пациент.
Не наш вообще, да, абсолютно не наш.
То есть, словно
Ну,
его...
окей.
Да.
Давай, если чувствую... Смотри, я в разговоре, типа, ну, много не отдупляю. Если чувствуешь не наш, сливай, но просто энергию тебе свою не
Слушай, ну,
тратить, да, и всё.
мне из серии, как сказать, тут
Попиздеть? Интересно.
не то, что попиздеть, просто в таком диалоге бывает вот крупицы,
Бывает,
типа
да.
на будущее. Ты это не любишь на будущее, а вот, у меня какое-то такое отношение, что, ну, типа,
Ну окей,
когда надо будет, у нас уже есть что переслушать. Там по
окей.
иншуранс, например, он там накидывал. Ну, только ради этого, немножко про
Все,
запас.
не
Так, не
вопрос,
целяк. Все,
не вопрос.
зафиксировали. Все,
Давай, мужик,
дай
я
информацию.
завтра... Все.
По 11-му вот раз
Мужик,
созвонились. Что?
ну давай, я тебе дам. Я, честно, не успел подумать еще.
Без
Сейчас
проблем.
вечером
Давай.
приеду к семье, подумаю и напишу. Ну, по-любому, что-то будем устраивать, но я напишу. Я понял. Вы планируете, да, вот эти выходные, и мы знаем инфа.
Да, дергай чуть-чуть, да, нормально.
Ну, давай,
Все,
я вернусь.
Диман, давай. Хорошего дня.
Давай. Все, тебе тоже
Спасибо,
вечера.
пока.
Пока-пока.